Well guys, have a little project bike for us today. This bike here looks like it wasn't ridden a lot, judging by the wear on the tires and the original sticker on the bike itself. Looks like it belonged to a younger kid that didn't ride a lot. The reason why I got a hold of it, well, if you look here, the back rim is bent. So of course, it becomes garbage then. So yeah, just going over the bike on first impression. The seat is in, good shape. It's no rips or nothing. Got some scuffs, but whatevers. There's a nice wear mark on the frame from a wonderful bike lock. The handlebar ends are through the grips, which is normal, I suppose. There are normal scuffs and wear and tear and all that, but otherwise the pedals are in good shape. They're not broke or cracked or seized or anything. The tires on the bike, like I said, are next to new, and they're not checked or nothing, so they'll make good tires for a bike anyway. The plastic chain guard is broke, which I'll probably end up removing anyways. But I was going to put an original set of spoked wheels on it, like what came off it here. However, the set that I had would not fit because they got a bigger, fatter axle in here because they're meant for one of the freestyle type bikes. So I'll go on with plan B. I have an old school set of plastic mag wheels, and we'll throw them on there. The axles in them are the right size. They're good. The free wheel on the back is not seized. The tubes hold air, so yeah, they're pretty much good for the transplant. But yeah guys, start by spinning off the back wheel, loosening off the axle nuts, which are a 15 mil, and just like I've showed you in other videos, once the chain goes slack, pretty much drop it off of the front ring, just like that. Pull back on the back wheel, and there she goes. Right now she's just hung up on the brake. That's an easy remedy. You just squeeze it in, unhook this little loopy thingy from the holder, and yeah, there she goes. So that rim is pretty much parts, because it's bent of course. The front rim is still passable, would still work on another bike. However, I'll probably keep it for a little bit, and if it doesn't get some form of use or purpose, then yeah, it'll be going as well. So of course, give them a loosen. I like to take them almost off. Then what I do is I just give the rim a shake, and then if you notice that little keeper rattles out, sometimes they're stuck in there, and you've got to get a little bit forceful with them. So yeah, once you got that little keeper popped out, give her a little tap, and away she goes. And one thing I find kind of neat or different on this bike is on the back wheel you have the standard cross-top brake, and on the front wheel you have the side pole older style brake. It's kind of weird how they combine both technologies in here to for a bike for a child, right? So once you've got the rims removed, it's pretty much time to reinstall. So you take your back rim, and you want to wrap your chain around the back sprocket. Pretty much like that, and you drop it back in the rear chain stays there. Then you're pretty much ready to wrap the chain around the front ring here, and pretty much hook it all up. So yeah, you drop the chain on the front ring, and you pretty much just rotate the pedals. Now as you notice, the chain there is like majorly slack. So what you do now is you pull back on the back rim, you know, until your chain is fairly taut, and give her a tighten down. So yeah, you pull her back until she's fairly taut, and tighten down on the nut. So yeah, if you notice there, if you notice when you pull on the chain, how if you notice there when you pull on the wheel, how the chain goes taut, well, that's what you're looking for. So yeah, now that you got your chain fairly taut, you just tighten down the axle nuts and give her a test spin, just to see how she all... A little bit noisy back there, but I think with a little bit of you know, lube, that will calm down. Not quite sure, that may be in the inner bearings, but you know, that's another day to tear apart and put her back together. So we'll drop in the front rim and go from there. Okay guys, so when you're installing the front wheel, you may need to loosen the brake cable so it'll clear the tire. But on bikes that are equipped with this little keeper, you pretty much want to tighten her on down. Stick the keeper in the hole and then tighten on the axle nut here. Make sure they're reasonably tight. And you know, repeat the same for this other side. Tighten it up. Then take your wrench or ratchet, whatever you're going to use to final tighten them, and pretty much give them a tighten down. Pretty much just like that. And then of course you're going to want to retighten the front brake. Well guys, I went to go adjust the brakes here. I had to take out a little shim in behind the pad and the arm here to account for the wider rim. And now that I've done that, I have to adjust the cable. However, this cable, as you can kind of see here, is frayed, pretty much ready to break. So we got to restring a new cable. So you start by loosening off this nut, which pretty much undoes the whole braking system. Pull off this little rubber thingy, set aside because you will need that again. And this little elbow thingy you're going to want to as well set aside. Pull it off the cable just like that. And then you're going to have to find out where the cable runs, how it's routed, and pretty much pull the cable out of the housing. Now some bikes, the housings run all the way from front to back one piece, and then there are others that are like this where the housing is broken or split into multiple pieces. So in that case you're going to have to remember which piece goes where. And you know, so when you restring the new cable, you can do it properly. So what I do now is I squeeze the lever and try to pull on this little silver thingy in there for this style of brake anyway, which pretty much puts slack in the cable. Pull the cable on straight through, unhook it out of the little groove there, and she's pretty much gone, drops right out. Now this is still long enough you can save for a front tire or something on a bike for the front wheel brake. So you know, it's not ready to be thrown away yet. So on the spare brake cable you got, pretty much you're going to want to look at it, make sure it's not frayed. And to hook it up, you just kind of reverse the process I just showed you. So guys, pretty much what I had to do was rethread the cable back through the housing, you know, hooking back up through the little ferrule here, which then the housing stops, but the cable keeps going to the other little whatchamadoodle, and it goes all the way down, which then pretty much ends up you know, intersecting with this elbow at the back brakes here. So pretty much you want to run the cable through the elbow, back through the little rubber piece, which then it'll come out of this end. Now in this bolt here you'll find a little hole. You can kind of see it. The cable will run through that hole right there. You see that hole? So pretty much you slide the cable through that hole. At this point, what I do before I pull or taut is I make sure it was everything was all good still. Everything was all holding, nothing slipped out, just like that. So yeah, you rerun the cable through the little bolt there with a hole in it and give it a gentle tighten. At that point, you test out the brakes to make sure they're adjusted and they're okay. So there you go, guys. Pretty much once you've got everything hooked up back to where it was, give the bike a bit of a once over, make sure everything's taut, everything's tight, everything's good. Just as example, just loosening off the axle nuts from probably what would have been the original tightening, I found them quite loose. You know, check the seat bolt, check the clamp here, even go as far as checking these bolts on the brakes. If you wanna, you can check the pedals, things like that. But other than that, she's pretty much good to roll. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much been a wheel swap and a bit of a tune-up on a Blue Boys BMX bike. So as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.